I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Financially, I have nothing. Christine had the house, I have nothing. My name is on property with everybody else. Probably nobody will cooperate now and play ball. FF. I can't believe I'm 50 and
It began the way so many unravelings do, not with a bang, but a whisper. A quiet rumor, barely audible, floating through fan forums and comment sections. A number, $500,000, $500,000, not on screen, not explained, but somehow gone. And all roads, fans began to suspect, led to one person, Robyn Brown. The whispers got louder, piecing together stories, timestamps, financial shifts, and at the center of it all, a shared PayPal account tied to the Brown family, allegedly created to pool the earnings of a plural household, a system of shared sacrifice and shared dreams. But if those whispers were true, that account had become something else entirely. A funnel, a siphon, a trap. And the most damning part, Janelle Brown says she never agreed to any of it. She once said, "I never felt like I had much control over my own money. Everybody was pulling from the same pot, which was great, until it wasn't." Her words weren't angry, they were tired, resigned, the kind of fatigue that only comes from watching a dream slowly rot in silence. According to insiders, the alleged transaction didn't happen during the glory days of the Brown family, not when they were building Coyote Pass, not when they were selling books or holding reunions. It happened later, quietly, during those awkward, quiet Flagstaff years, when Cody was still spiritually married to 4 women, but functionally living as a monogamous husband to Robyn. And just as the family fractured emotionally, it may have fractured financially too. The PayPal account, said to be linked to an LLC or family trust, was originally funded by everyone: Janelle, Christine, Mary, even Robyn. But when the withdrawals started, only one person, fans claim, seemed to benefit. Right around the same time, Robyn purchased that $1.65 million home in Arizona. And the timing? Too perfect to ignore. Janelle later admitted the house was never really meant to be Robyn's alone. It was supposed to be a family asset. But somewhere in the fine print, that promise vanished. What makes this so haunting is how familiar it feels. A slow shifting of priorities. A wife left out of meetings. A husband who forgets to show up. Then, out of nowhere, a luxury property no one else knew was being finalized. It wasn't the money that broke Janelle. It was the silence. She remembered the early days when they would gather around a kitchen table, all of them, to vote on what bills to pay, which kid needed shoes, whether it was time to start building on their land. That democratic process, gone, replaced by secrecy. Cody just started taking out funds, she later said, and I didn't know what for. Fans couldn't help but do the math. If money was too tight to pay off Coyote Pass, how was Robyn upgrading the landscaping, buying new art, renovating a kitchen? That house became a symbol, not of wealth, but of betrayal. And when Janelle asked about putting her name, or any of the other wives' names, on the deed to that home, something shifted. Robyn, according to sources, flatly refused. And Cody? He backed her. "We need to protect Robyn's estate," he reportedly said. That's when everything changed, because that one sentence, it told Janelle everything she needed to know. The money wasn't theirs anymore. It was hers. The dream of a shared legacy had been replaced by a hierarchy. And Janelle had just learned she was on the bottom rung, and maybe had been for a while. Cody's actions didn't feel like a misstep. They felt like a message, a subtle one, the kind that doesn't raise its voice, but leaves you out of the group text. Fans who once blamed Janelle for not speaking up sooner now understand. She wasn't naive. She was surviving. But survival has an expiration date, and hers had come. The final straw wasn't a confrontation. It wasn't some explosive scene. It was a quiet moment, watching the lights flicker on in Robyn's home while Cody once again skipped dinner. Another birthday missed, another kid left waiting, a marriage not ended, but simply abandoned. And so Janelle did what no one expected. She started tracking the numbers. Because behind the emotions, behind the tears, behind the spiritual symbolism of plural marriage, Janelle had always been the one holding the spreadsheet. She understood budgets, she understood debt, and she understood what it meant when the math didn't add up. She wasn't going to cry. She was going to calculate. And what she found? It didn't just scare her. It mobilized her, not with gossip, not with cryptic posts, but with paperwork. She wanted answers. She wanted numbers. She wanted names on transactions. And if those answers didn't come willingly, she was prepared to go get them. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about memory, legacy, ownership, justice. And for the first time in 30 years, Janelle Brown stopped being a wife and started being a witness. A witness to betrayal. a witness to silence, and maybe, just maybe, the first domino in a story that's about to collapse. In the early days, the money felt like it belonged to everyone. Not just Cody, not just the wives, everyone. They called it our fund, a shared purse built on faith, hope, and the kind of sacrifices only a plural family could understand. One wife bought groceries, another paid school fees. One stayed home with the kids so the others could work. It was never perfect, but it was fair, until it wasn't, and no one saw that shift clearer than Janelle. She said it quietly, but the weight of it landed hard. About 10 years ago, it started changing. The pooling stopped. The shared decision stopped. It became every wife for herself. Every wife, except Robyn. Because when Robyn needed a house, suddenly, miraculously, the family came together. Janelle didn't protest, not at first. She still believed in the dream. She still believed Robyn was one of them. But when she asked for the other wives to be added to the mortgage, Cody's answer was sharp. We need to protect Robyn's estate, not the family estate, not our legacy. Robyn's. That moment rewrote everything. Because while Cody claimed the family was struggling to pay off Coyote Pass, he was outfitting new cars, buying trailers, upgrading Robyn's home with every luxury money could buy. And Janelle? She was left standing in the Arizona sun, wondering how she'd gone from co-builder of the Brown Empire to financial ghost. If money's so tight, she asked, why does Robyn's house look like a showroom? The silence that followed said more than Cody ever would. Insiders say she confronted him, asked him, straight up, where's the money going? His answer? Not denial, just indifference. I don't owe you details, he allegedly snapped. You'll just take it to the gossip mill. But Janelle wasn't gossiping. She was investigating. And what she uncovered pointed straight to a quiet private transaction, one that allegedly funneled hundreds of thousands from the family pot directly into Robyn's household. No explanation, no receipts, just a name and a mansion. That's when fans started whispering about the PayPal account, a six-figure transfer tied to an LLC Cody controlled, a transaction that, if true, could be one of the biggest betrayals in Sister Wives history. And the timeline? It lined up almost too perfectly, because right around the time Robyn closed on her $1 million home, Janelle says she started noticing things: landscaping, a custom kitchen, designer artwork that didn't scream we're in debt. Cody, meanwhile, was telling Janelle they couldn't afford to finish the Coyote Pass project. No money, no timeline. Just wait. But Janelle had waited long enough. I feel like he's just looking for ways to get rid of me, she admitted. I don't know anymore. Her kids felt it too. They'd grown up watching their moms stretch every penny, living in smaller homes, skipping the luxuries so the dream could stay alive. And now, that dream, it was funding someone else's reality, Robyn's. So when the whispers about that PayPal account reached Janelle, something inside her shifted. The weight of decades fell away. I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house, she said. Not our house, not the family's, Robyn's. Because what Janelle had just uncovered wasn't a mistake, it was a system, and now she was about to break it wide open. In any story like this, there's always a moment when the truth stops whispering and starts screaming. For Janelle, that moment came not in court, not on camera, but during a visit to Robyn's house. She walked in and saw it: fresh renovations, custom decor, a backyard straight out of a home magazine. And she froze. Because Cody had just told her the family was broke, said they couldn't afford to finish building, said they had debts. But this wasn't debt. This was wealth and silence. That's when Janelle began replaying a conversation from months earlier. She'd asked Cody about the Coyote Pass land, why nothing was happening, why the money wasn't showing up. And Cody, usually vague, slipped up. He mentioned something odd. We need to settle up with Robyn's household because of prior family support transfers. Family support transfers. Not a phrase Janelle had ever heard before, not once. But he said it fast, like he was defending something she hadn't even accused him of yet. And when she pressed, Cody changed the subject. That's when it hit her. He wasn't explaining. He was hiding. If that money was support, she thought, then why didn't I know about it? Why didn't Christine? Why didn't Mary? Because this wasn't support. It was siphoning. That moment lit the fuse. And everything after that, the receipts, the mortgage documents, the bank statements, fell into place. For years, she'd trusted the system, trusted Cody, trusted the idea that their family was united by more than just cameras and contracts. But now, that idea was shattered, and Janelle wasn't the only one picking up the pieces. Christine had been watching too, not just as a friend, but as a former wife with her own questions, her own scars, and maybe her own suspicions. Insiders say during breaks in filming, Christine and Janelle would talk in hushed tones, comparing stories, noticing patterns. and one phrase kept coming up: follow the paper trail. Christine didn't need to say Robyn's name. She didn't have to. Fans already knew who the breadcrumbs pointed to. It was Christine, after all, who first questioned why Cody's time, energy, and money always seemed to flow one way, toward Robyn. So when Janelle confided in her, laid out the possibility of misused funds and hidden transactions, Christine wasn't shocked. She was angry, but not surprised. I saw where the money went, she'd later say, and it wasn't going to the rest of us. Now they were in it together, not just as women burned by the same man, but as co-investigators in a truth they were done ignoring. And the truth? It was ugly. They began asking the right questions, the ones no one wanted them to ask. Where were the TLC residuals going? Were there side accounts? Had Cody and Robyn created a shadow financial plan outside the family trust? And if so, for how long? That's when they reportedly reached out to TLC directly, asked whether on-camera admissions could be used legally, not because they were afraid, because they were ready. This wasn't drama anymore. This was discovery. What began as confessions was turning into evidence. And Robyn? She could feel it. So when Christine suggested an off-camera family meeting, just the women, Robyn refused. I'm not walking into an ambush, she said. But what she didn't understand was that Janelle's next move didn't need confrontation. It just needed a lawyer, and she was already making the call. From the outside, Robyn always looked like the careful one, the soft-spoken mother, the peacemaker, the wife who just wanted harmony in a house full of chaos. But behind the quiet voice and the trembling tears was someone who held all the paperwork, and now those papers were coming to light. Suki asked Janelle on camera, "Why does everyone think you were in charge of the finances?" Janelle's answer was sharp, measured, because Cody always told people that. He made her the face of the money, the scapegoat. But behind closed doors, he and Robyn were allegedly the only ones holding the pen. Robyn's defense? She was frugal, didn't spend on luxuries, said the big house was for the family, that the upgrades were for everyone. But when Janelle asked, pleaded, to put all the wives on that mortgage, Robyn refused, and Cody defended her. "We need to protect Robyn's estate," he said. The moment he said it, Janelle knew. She wasn't protecting Robyn. She was funding her. Because after all those years of saying, "We're one family," suddenly, Robyn was untouchable. Even crew members noticed the shift, how Robyn shut down conversations about shared money, how Cody jumped in to silence questions, how fast the doors closed when the topic turned to ownership. Robyn cried in confessionals, said she felt abandoned, said she missed Christine and Janelle, but fans weren't buying it. "She always cries before she flips the story," one viewer posted. And they weren't wrong. Because while Robyn cried on camera, Janelle was pulling records. And Christine, she wasn't far behind. She and Janelle had been through enough emotional betrayal. Now they were ready for accountability. Janelle's kids noticed the difference too, especially Maddie. When she heard about the rumored $500,000 transfer, she didn't just question it. She cut Cody off. No updates, no invitations, not even a phone call when she gave birth to her third child. She was done. And when Cody complained on air about being left out, it showed just how disconnected he really was. He hadn't been left out. He'd walked away. And now, even Savannah, his youngest with Janelle, was preparing to walk without him. She admitted on camera that if her wedding day ever came, she didn't expect her dad to be there. She expected her brothers. "Because I don't think he'll show up when it matters," she said. The heartbreak wasn't in the words. It was in the acceptance, and the divide wasn't just emotional anymore. It was financial, legal, tangible. That's when Mary entered the picture, with a folder in her hand and fire in her voice. "He thinks I was hiding money from him," she told Suki. "Let me show you what I contributed." Mary had been silent for years. Now, she was naming numbers. She was done being the loyal wife, done being the scapegoat, done watching Robyn live in comfort while the rest scrambled for scraps. All of them had stories, but now they had proof. Janelle had built that case not with bitterness, but with evidence. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't pleading. She was prepared. And Cody? He started dodging. No more sharing financial info. No more explaining land deals. "I'm done with information leaks," he said. What he called leaks, Janelle called facts. And while he clammed up, Janelle tightened her case. Because she knew she might not have had a marriage license, but she had 30 years of contribution, receipts. And now she was ready to use them. For years, Janelle Brown stayed silent. She believed in the family, in the dream, in the man she once trusted. But silence doesn't protect you. It only delays the truth. And now, that truth is louder than ever. The moment Janelle told Christine, "I think I'm going to have to lawyer up," it wasn't a threat. It was a promise. She had played her role, faithfully. She helped build a family empire. She contributed her income, her time, her emotional labor. And in return, she was handed excuses and betrayal. So she started asking questions. Where did the money go? Why did Robyn get the upgrades? Why did the house deed have one name? Why was the land they all bought together being held hostage by one couple? And that's when the whispers turned into receipts, bank statements, LLC transfers, property deeds. Everything pointed to a pattern, not a mistake. And behind that pattern, Cody and Robyn. Robyn has gone quiet. No posts, no apologies, no explanations. But Janelle, she's just getting started. Her kids are backing her. Christine is beside her. And the court of public opinion is listening. If even a fraction of those PayPal rumors are true, if the paper trail leads where it seems to be going, then Janelle isn't just fighting for her share. She's fighting to reclaim her story. Because this was never about money alone. It was about dignity, about trust, about not letting the final chapter be written by the people who took the most and gave the least. The Brown family's dream may be over, but Janelle's reckoning has just begun. And Robyn, well, you can't cry your way out of ledgers, not this time.